I don't know where you guys are getting your weather. So let's look at the weather I have here. So the weather network. What time did it refresh at? 10:25 a.m. So 15 minutes ago, 20% chance of rain right now. Like nothing. I don't know where you guys are getting your weather from. It's preposterous. All right, so we know how to label our triangles so far. We know how to organize the triangles, and we know how to figure out what ratio we're supposed to use. Okay? Once you know that, there are only 3 questions I can ask you with trig. And my favorite story of the year comes from trig. Geez Louise. Do any of you guys know a young man named Cameron Ross? Fine, outstanding individual.
CMR.
Okay. I want to show you an email I got from Cameron after he had math with me in quad 2. And during quad 3, he emailed me this. And of course, he respectfully said, "Mr. Rourke, dude, this is crazy. That SOHCAHTOA thing you taught me totally just worked to cut the perfect angle in shop glass." So you guys always sit.
Mr. O, I got him on FaceTime. Mr. O, I got him on FaceTime.
Who, CMR?
Yeah, I got CMR on FaceTime.
Okay, you can tell him that I'm
Showing
showing
the
my
email, dude.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Right. I knew that would come in handy one day.
Yeah. So with the class saying, like, when does math ever, like, when will I ever use this? Clear proof. This was used one day in a math class, in real life.
Oh, I've used that before.
Good job. Good job, CMR.
It works so well, and I use the thing every day now. Math is the key to success in life.
Dude, it is. Mr. O, we were doing interlock in a driveway, and I had to do that. I had to cut one of the bricks. We had to do that.
Oh, nice.
It was cool.
Good.
It was also with Bryce Burgess, and that guy doesn't really know a thing or two.
Okay. Say bye to Mr. O, Cameron.
All right. See you, Cam. So the nice thing is, though, there's only 3 questions I can ask in trig. Okay? The 3 questions are as follows. I could, let me change that. I could ask the question where I put, here we go. So I could ask this question. This would be question 1. Cos, like 40 equals x over 10. And this is the same question as tan 40 equals x over 10. Or sine 30 equals x over like 15. You can change these numbers up. You can say that's 48. But if you notice, I put the unknown is on top of all these. Okay? Nothing changes whether it's cos, tan, or sine. Just the button on your calculator you press changes. But the process of the question doesn't change. Question 2 is I could change the unknown to the bottom with all these. And it doesn't matter what the angle is, what the measurement is. It's just where the unknown is. Okay? I'll have the unknown on the bottom. Okay? And then lastly, I could make the unknown the angle. 10 over 20, something like this. 30 over 40, let's say, and sine x equals 10 over 11. And with these ones, all my unknown is the angle. So once you get to, you can organize it. If you can get here, where you can put it in the right spots, there's only 3 questions I can ask. That's it, right? Does that make sense to everyone? There's only 3 questions that I can ask you. It's not terribly difficult past that. So let's do the first one. The first one is the easiest one, okay? So let's set up a triangle here. Okay, and let's write, let's make that 20, make this x, and make this 40, okay? I'm going to go through my steps, HOA and theta. I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds or so to label it, pick the ratio we're going to use. I can bring this down here. 1 second. Okay. And pick the ratio we're going to use and get it set up for me. Okay, I'll give you a minute to do that. Yeah, go ahead.
You said you're assigning the assignment we're doing today at the 3rd block?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so you're explaining it then too?
Yeah. And my goal is to have like 3rd block start 12:15 or 12:30, so you have lots of time.
Sounds good.
And the assignment is essentially like a review as well for the test tomorrow. Okay. So I'll give you guys a minute here to label it and then pick your ratio to use and get it all plugged in for me. Put a D in chat when you're all done that. Please and thank you. I need to change my attendance. A couple of people are done. Good. Oops. All right, so I'm going to work away on this. So in this case, my hypotenuse was 20. My opposite was x. And my theta was 40. Therefore, I have O and H. So I need SO that has O and H. So sine theta equals O over H. So sine 40 equals x over 20. Okay. How are we doing with this? Were we able to get that? Press U for thumbs up if you got that as you think. Good. So we're rocking and rolling. Good. Oops. Just let me download it. All right. So now from here, we just do a little bit of what? Of algebra. So we need x all by itself. So it's x divided by 20. If I bring that 20 over here, what's it going to become? So it's x divided by 20 over here. What's the 20 going to become when it comes over to the other side? Times, right? It's going to multiply. Now you could write it as like 20 times sine 40 equals x. You could also write it as sine 40 times 20 equal x. Okay? Then we just need to do the calculation. And here's where, give me 1 second here. I have to get your calculators out. If you don't have a calculator, you're going to use what? A trig table. And a trig table is in your notes itself. The very last page, this big sheet right here, is our trig table. Okay? Let me pull that one up. So we're all working off the same thing. Okay. Perfect. Class notes. All right, so first things first. If you have this calculator, okay, how you would type this in would be 20 times sine 40. Okay, press enter. So 12.9 is going to be my answer for this one. 12.9. If I have a, let me get a Apple calculator out here. There we go. Look at that. Okay. So if you have an Apple calculator, what you can do is this. How you type this in along lines of this. You would go 20 times 40, then press the sign button, then press equal. 12.9. So that's option 2. Option 3 is using your trig table. So sine 40 is just a ratio that gives you a number. Okay? So what we would do here is you can look up here, it says sine, cosine, tangent. We would go down to sine 40. So 40 degrees. What's my number? 0.628. 0.6428. Then I could go to my calculator and I go 0.6428. That's the sine 40 part times 20 equals 12.9. Okay? So who's that? Mia. So Mia, what type of so one thing I want everyone to do is figure out if they can get that number on their calculator. Whether you're using a calculator like this, whether you're using an iPhone calculator. And if you're not using, if you don't want to press the trig button, the sine cosine button, you can look at the trig table here to use it. Okay? Okay, Mia, what type of calculator are you using? Are you using the iPhone calculator? Texas Instruments. Does it look like, well, first thing you should do, it's pink. Oh, number one thing you should do, oh, I forgot about this. You see up here where it says DEG? You have to make sure that's on degrees. there'll be a button here. Where's my button? Okay, 14.9. Does yours say up here RAD? It says DRG. DRG is right. How about it says reg? Okay, what type of calculator are you using, Tessa? Okay, so Laura, you need, all right, so I'm gonna problem solve. You need it in degrees, so DRG or DEG is correct. There'll be something on your calculator which will say like mode, or some say like DRG where you can switch back and forth. I can't see mine on my calculator. So here's mine. So here it says degrees mode, rad mode, or grad mode. So I want degrees for mine. So see if you can get it changed over. Mia, let's go over yours first. Just try this, Mia. Try to go 40. I would go sine 40 equals. Do you get that number? And that goes for everyone who got a wrong answer. Just try to get sine 40 to equal 0.64. Tessa, you're good now? Okay. I changed it and it works. Okay, Laura's good. Okay, I'm getting 12.8 now. No, but 12.8 is not the right answer. Oh, yeah, 12.8 is the right answer. Yes. Okay, you're good now. Is there anyone else I have to problem solve with? So everyone was able to get that answer. Now, the nice thing is if your calculator is not working at all, let's say you have no clue what to do with your calculator, you have this trig sheet here that works just as fine, where you can look up the value of sine 40, type that in, and times it by 20. So if you have no idea what you're doing on your calculator, you're fine. All right, let's do another one. Okay. Let's try this one. I should say x equals. I'll change colors. Good. It's my 90. And let's go with that's my x. Sorry, that's not my x. Silly me. That's 10. That's x. And that is 15. Okay. So let's label her up. HOA theta. And then figure out what you're going to use. I'll grab this real quick and bring it down. Generally, whenever I do questions, I always write, I'll have on top of my page, SOHCAHTOA, just sitting there on top of my page. So put a D in chat if you've got it all set up for me. You've labeled it, you've selected your trig ratio, and then you know what you're going to punch in. Okay. So I'll get started on this. Good. So in this case, I always start with my theta for some reason. That's the easiest one. Then my opposite is 15. My adjacent is x. So I have O and A. So I'm looking over here at TOA. So I have, oops, tan theta equals opposite over adjacent. So I have tan 10 equals 15 over, oops, I messed this up. All right. This is the second question. Let's change these numbers. I didn't want to put the unknown on the bottom. I apologize. So that's going to be x and, no, 15 and x. So we have x over 15. I apologize. So now, is everybody caught up? Put T in chat if you need more time for what I just messed up. Okay, so assume everyone's caught up. Now we just have to do some algebra. We want the x all by itself, so we're going to bring it over, and it becomes a multiply. So I have 15 times tan 10. Okay, now let's try to plug that into our calculators. So 15 times tan 10, we should get 2.6. If I'm doing it on an iPhone calculator, I could go 15 times 10, and then I have to press tangent, then press equals. And lastly, if I want to use my trig table, I know it's tan 10, so I go to 10 degrees, and I go over to tangent, 1763. It is. I changed up the question there, Mia. I think I made 15 adjacent. Yeah, opposite over adjacent. So x over 15.
Mr. O.
Yeah, right.
I have to call Cox, like the construction, like landscaping company, because they screwed something up on the road and broke my bumper. So I have to go call and get money from them.
Okay.
All right, I'll be back in like 10.
Yep. Mia, does that make sense? How I changed it after, but 15's on the bottom where adjacent is. Okay. So go back here. If I'm using my trig table, I go to angle 10. I go over to tangent, 1763. So I go to my calculator. I go 0.1763 times 15, 2.6. Okay. Did anyone else need help? Was everyone able to get that answer? All right. So we're going to hop to our notes to self here. And we're going to go to question 1. Okay. So question 1, I'll do a quick question here, and this is what we'll write in our notes to self. Actually, I'm not going to do that. Just take the question I just wrote. So in question 1, finding a side, I'm going to do this later, but you guys can do it right now. We'll do the first question since it's a little bit, none of those are really nice, are they? That one is once I get done. Okay. Write this question into your notes to self. Okay. About how to solve for That's question 1. What was my answer again? 2.6. Okay. Does that make sense, everyone, what I want you to put in question 1? This is one of the questions. I put the unknown up top. Okay. Put a D in chat when you've got all that filled out in your notes to self.
Mr. O, how is the theta 10 when in the triangle it says X?
Oh, geez Louise. I messed that up.
Oh, okay.
It was 10, but then when I switched it over, I just wrote X. Oh. Here's my OneNote had a fit and quit on me. There we go. Okay. Has everybody done that? Writing that question in the first little box there? Yes, no, maybe so. Logan said yes. Yosan, are you done? So let's do the second question that we could get. We could get a question like this. Okay, so we did the first question where the unknown was on top, right? But we could get a question where we have the unknown on the bottom. So I'll set one up here. Oh, I didn't have shape done. Let's do this one. X, 10, and that's 20. So I go HOA theta. So this was X, this was 10, and this is 20. So I'm going to use, oops, I got it. So I have, oops, there we go. I have O and H, so that means I'm going to use sine. Sine theta equals O over H. So sine 20 equals 10 over X. Okay, I'm going to pause there to make sure everyone's caught up. So Riley, all we did when you were gone was we wrote in our notes our future self. Then this is our first question now where we have the unknown on the bottom. Okay, so now we need to get that x by itself, but it's got to be on the top too. Oh, scroll up just a little bit. There you go. Tell me when you're done, Mia, before I move over. I get started. Okay. So I need to move the x to the top. So we're going to do it the exact same way. That's a divide on this side. So it's going to become a multiply on this side. So my next line is x times sine 20 equals 10. Now, I want to move that sine 20 to the other side because I need x all by itself. So can anyone tell me what the sine 20 is going to become on this side of the equal equation? Right now it's x times sine 20. So when I move it over, it's going to become a plus minus multiply or divide. It's x multiplied by sine 20 right now. I take it that's divide you guys are showing me. You just can't get the two little dots there, right? 10 divided by sine 20, okay? Now, if you look here, what happened to these two things right here in the end? So from this step to this step, what happened with them? They just swapped places, right? This one went there, and this one went there. So when we see this in the future, we don't have to do this middle step. We can just swap them in places. Yeah, switch places. Excellent. Good job, Mia. They just switch places. So now we just use our calculator to solve this out. So 10 divided by sine 20, 29.2. If I was going to do this calculator, I would go 10 divided by 20 and then press sine, 29.2. And if I was using my trig table, I would go down to 20, over to sine, and go 3420 is my number, 3420. And I would go 10 divided by 0.3420. And I get the exact same number. Okay? How do we feel about this question out of 5? 5, 5, good. We're going to do one more of this question. And I'll do this question in your notes to self. Therefore, it's in there. I don't have to rewrite it. So this would be question 2, right? So this is one of the only 2 questions I can give you. So let's do, one second, I can't. You'll say when it comes to a test, I'll tell you how many I want. Generally right now, I'm just going to 1. But I'll write on a test, I need this many decimal places. So let's say we have this question. Let's say that's like 15. This is x, and this is 20. So what I would do is HOA theta 15, 20, and x. Okay. Then, okay, no problem, Carly. Check the video when you get back if you need to look it up.
Ben's Wi-Fi is like not good.
Yeah, I know. He's told me before.
Okay.
Yeah. So H and A, I have H and A, so I'm going to use, it tells me I'm going to use cosine because it has the A and the H. So I'm going to set that up. Cos theta equals A over H. I'm going to write everything in. Oops. Cos 15 equals 20 over x. Now, can someone tell me what I do here? What do I do? How do I get the x all by itself? And Mia is not allowed to answer because I know Mia knows the answer. What do I do?
You bring the x over to make it x times cosine 15.
But then what's the next step after? What's the quickest way? Can you explain what to do in the quickest way possible?
You do 20 divided by 15, or cosine 15.
Cos 15.
Yeah.
So we're going to swap these. Mia, I told you couldn't. We're going to switch these. Okay? So we swap these through, and we get this. And then we figure out our answer using our calculator. So 20 divided by cos 15. What in the world is that answer? 20.7. I'll do it on all calculators. So 20 divided by 15 cos, you have to 15, then press cos, then press equals, 20.7. And if I want to use, and I love the trig table, I never used it before. I go to 15, I go over to cosine 9659. 20 divided by 0.9695 gives me the exact same number. That one's a little different, but we're not going to write this in, unless you wrote this into your notes to self. We're not going to pause and write it in right now. I'll come back to this when you guys have practice time, so you can write it in. Okay? So that's question 2. We've already done question 1, question 2, now question 3. Class notes. The very last thing we can make unknown is the angle. That's fine. Okay? So I could say x is there, this is 10, this is 15. Okay? That could be a question I could give you. So H, O, A, and theta. This is the confusing one. Ironically, unless you use the trig table is actually really easy to solve this. So let's fill in our chart here. The opposite's 15, the adjacent's 10, and this time my x is my unknown.
Wait, Mr. O, is that 29.2 a part of this?
No, that's
okay.
the answer to the previous question. There you go. Does that make sense? Now, if I'm ever going too fast, write slow in the chat or S in the chat to slow me down. Can't believe you guys bullied me into putting a tarp up. Not even. It's nice clouds outside. Right. Now, what ratio am I going to use here? Yeah, but isn't there some kind of fun in being risky, Kovats? Pushing the edge? 40%. No.
Because if it rains, then your whole deck is ruined.
Oh, it's just I'd see it. It's only a wall right now. I've only got a wall up.
Oh.
Only a couple walls. So it's not the whole deck, trust me. Toa, good job, San Vito. It looked like Mia copied you. Good. So we have an O and an A. Right? So that means Toa. Perfect. So where are we going here? So I'm going to write tan theta equals O over A. Okay. So that's going to be tan x equals 15 over 10. Fine. Get that written down, and then I'm going to make your answer. I'm going to set it up so you guys will answer this really quick of how to do this. Well, first thing I'm going to do is 15 divided by 10 is 1.5. I'm just going to write that down there. You don't have to. I'm just going to set it up like that right now. Now, what I want you to do right now, okay, put a G in chat if you're good to go. You're caught up. I don't want to explain this when people aren't caught up. So I want you to think about this. Tan x is tangent times x. Okay? Tangent times x. So if I want to get x all by itself, what do I need to do with tangent? I need to move it over to the other side. And what's it become when it comes over to the other side? Is it become a multiply plus minus, multiply, divide, plus minus? Good. It becomes a divide. How does everyone feel about that? Thumbs up? That makes sense? Now, on your calculator, you can't divide by tan, but on the calculator, you have a button that's tan to the negative 1, 1.5. Okay? So I'm going to show how everyone to do this. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show on the trig table, because the trig table is actually the easiest way to do this. So I'm looking for tan x equals the 1.5. So what I actually do is I go to tangent here, and I'm just going to look down here until I find the number 1.5. Okay, I need to move over to the next line. So I go to tangent, I keep going down until I get close to 1.5. So in this case, it's going to be between, see how I found 1.5 there? It's going to be between 57 and 56. So probably 56.5 will probably be an okay answer for that. For people with this calculator, or a calculator like this, there's two ways you can do it. I could go, if I press, see where the tan button is there? Right above it, there's like a light tan to the negative 1. So I go second function tan, and I could write 1.5 in there, and I get 56.3. Okay. The other way I could do this, to be more accurate, sometimes we have other numbers, I could go, what's it, 15 divided by 10, press equal, then just go second function tan, and press equal. And get the same number. Now, if you're on your iPhone calculator, I'd recommend doing it like this. I would go 15 divided by 10, equals, then press second function, and tan to the negative 1. And I get the answer. So was everyone able to get that answer?
Wait a
With
sec.
their calculator?
So I got to the 1.5.
Good. Second function?
What button is that?
It should say second or shift up in the top left-hand corner.
I do not see that.
Do you have your calculator turned sideways?
Yes.
Okay, so,
Oh, I see it. I see it now.
okay. And then tan to the negative 1.
Okay.
Did it come up?
1.1.5 second function. 10 and the negative 1. 50. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, good.
Awesome.
Mia, okay. All right, let's see, Mia. Do this for me, Mia. Go 15 divided by 10 equals. Geez, Mia, you're all over the place. All right, 15 divided by 10 equals. Then go second function, tan equals. What answer did you get that time? Okay, now do this one. Go second function, tan. Do you have brackets on your calculator, Mia? Yes or no? Press bracket. 15 divided by 10. Close your bracket. Equal. Okay, good. No worries. So let's go back to our notes to self and do another question here. How do we feel about that question out of 5?
Unrelated statement. Mr. O, have you ever been told that you look like Corey Kluber from the New York Yankees?
No.
Go look him up right now and tell me you don't look like him. Like, you guys are actually twins, I swear.
He's also a pretty handsome looking guy who got hit by an ugly stick.
Go look right now. Seriously, you actually look alike.
I do not. We'll have a vote here. Okay, shaved or not shaved?
A little bit of stubble, I feel like, is more like, looks like you. It's the nose and the hair color and everything.
No, I do not look like this guy.
Go to the class. Tell me they don't look alike.
I do not have. Okay. Out of 5, how much do I look like that guy?
Dude, like a 0?
4.
I see what you mean, Gabe. There's some features that are similar, but not that many. I'd say like a 2.
Mr. O, you just look better.
I don't have that manly of a jawline.
No, Mr. O, you look better than
You
him.
look a lot like him, man. I'm not tripping here. I don't know why everyone's saying 2. Ben, back me up on this one, dude.
Man, Ben's on the call.
There's a non. No.
No, Mr. O, you look better.
I so see it.
Oh, I don't look better than him. He makes multi-millions.
No, Mike, dude, that guy's known for being one of the ugliest players in the league.
No, he is not, Mr. O. Riley is lying. Riley doesn't.
Riley, you know what you call a ugly player making millions of dollars?
A millionaire?
A millionaire. All right, here, let's do this question.
He's a Cy Young winner. He's actually good. He threw a no-hitter last night.
Yeah, I know. All right. So let's say we have this triangle here. Oh, that's not a good triangle. So we got this triangle here. Let's put some measurements in here. Let's go with, let's put X there, a 30 there, and a 10 here. Okay? So let's label everything. HOA theta. So my hypotenuse is 30, my opposite is 10, and my theta is X. So which one are we going to use here? So, Ka, or Toa? Good. Because we have our OHs and OHs. All right, so let's set her up. Sine theta equals O over H. So sine X equals, oops, why did I put an H there? Sine X equals 10 over 30. Okay. And I'm going to write it like this right now. Sine -1, 10 over 30. Because how you get that answer is up to how you use your calculator, right? Because I can also write it like this. That's going to be 0.33. Right? So if I wanted to use my trig table, oops. If I want to use my trig table, I'll go to sine, and I'm going to go down on it until I find 0.333. So that is about in between 19 and 20. So if you're using a trig table and you told me like 19.5, I'd accept it, right? You'd tell me you're using a trig table, so I know to kind of have some error. Then if I were using my calculator, depends on the calculator you have. You got to learn how to use it. So I would go 10 divided by 30 equals, and then just go second function. In this case, second function sine. 19.5. Oh, look at that. It's bang on. Now, if I was using an iPhone calculator, I would go 10 divided by 30 equals, and then press sine to the -1, 19.5. Okay? Were you able to get the correct answer of 19.5?
Can you do that again on the iPhone calculator?
Sure. So 10 divided by 30, press equals, gives me this big long answer. And then second function, I'm going to use sine to the -1. And the nice thing is you just change like all those three questions. That's all you need to know how to do. What ratio button you press just changes. Go ahead, Dominic.
Nope, I'm good.
You're good. So how do we feel about primary trig? Out of 5. How do we feel about primary trig? Good? Good. Jadine, were you able to catch up with it? Are you okay with it? Okay, good. So your homework right now, well, first things first, if you did not complete the attendance check, I know Jadine, I don't think you did. Oh, did you, Jadine? Did you do the attendance check, Jadine? Are you here for that? Actually, I have your thing in here. Yeah, you did. Okay. Oh, never mind, Jadine. I got it. So you have a little bit of homework today. Practice here. Now, I did make an error on one of these questions, I believe. There are a lot of questions here. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 questions. Probably more than you need to do. Okay? But I would like you to do at least 6 at the very minimum, and making sure that you use all 3 questions. Okay? Okay, I'll put it up there. You'll stand for you in a second. I want you to make sure use all 3 questions. For the last set of questions, we did 7. Oh no, you don't have to do them all. For the last set, yeah, that's fine. But for these ones here, do at least 6. But I want you to do like a couple, do like 3 angles, do a couple that the unknown's on top, do a couple where the unknown's on the bottom, and make sure you know how to do all the different kinds. Does that make sense, everyone?
Yeah, Mr. O.
Yes.
Could we just go back to the
Notes to self?
note to self question, the question 3?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back there in a second.
No,
and
I was just confused a little. So you do 10 divided by 30.
Yeah.
10 divided by 30. And then you get the 0.33. And then you just press the second button.
Yeah.
Like the second. And then you press send the -1.
Yeah.
Equals. Do you press the equals or?
No.
No. Okay. So it's
Once
just
you press it, it pops up.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay, no worries.
Awesome.
Ethan, I haven't given out the assignment yet. I'm gonna give it to you at 12:30. So we're back at 12:30, and I'll give out the assignment then. And I'll explain the assignment then. Okay? Does that make sense, Ethan? Or do you have to go before that? It's a review assignment, Yosan. Okay, what time do you have to go, Ethan? At 1? Okay. Then you'll have time to join. Like, it should take 5 minutes to explain, and then away you go. Then you have the afternoon to kind of work on it. Okay?
What questions are we doing? 1, 2, and 3?
No, not 1, 2, and 3. You're going to have to jump all over the place with it. Yeah, you can do your work now. We're back at 12:30.
So just do any of them?
What I want you to do is make sure there's a whole bunch of questions, like 12 different questions, if not more, right?
Yeah.
But like do some where the unknown's on the bottom. Do some where the unknown's on top.
Oh, okay.
Right? Do some that like where you have to find the angle. And if you did 2 of each, that would equal 6. That's where I came up with the 6 number, right?
Cool.
But make sure you kind of do a variety of them so you know how to do each. So you're comfortable with like, okay, I know how to do that one. If you don't get them both right, then you have to do another one. Um, Laura, make sure you get in the. You're gonna log those hours for your volunteer time, right? Through the school. Good.
Ones right now.
Mr. O, are we on break?
You have till 12:30 to do your homework, and then we're back at 12:30.
Okay.
This is a work period.